Hi, I'm Lauren Herckis, and this talk is on hybrid virtual physical homes. This paper is co-authored with Jessica Cow, Jacqui Fashimpaur, Anna Henson, Rachel Rodgers, Thomas Corbett III, and Jessica Hammer. Home is an organizing principle in people's lives. Home isn't just a place where people eat, sleep, and keep their things. Homes are also spaces where people find privacy and safety and create a sense of self, family, and community. But not all homes offer these benefits to the people who live in them. For example, financial limitations can affect people's relationship to their homes, and people who live in cities might struggle with a lack of outdoor space. This paper was written before the COVID-19 pandemic and edited while the authors were under quarantine, an experience that has highlighted many challenges around the home. Many people, like college students and military families, move house on a regular basis. Some people can't use their home expressively, if they're renting an apartment, for example, or living somewhere they can't be open about their identity. And some people can't be at home as often as they'd like. A lot of people spend time away from home for work, for example, and children in divorced families often split their time between two homes. Extensive prior research explores the distinction between space and place attachment, and identity formation. Prior home-related work in human-computer interaction addresses routines, home-based smart technologies, and other categories of research that take place in and of the home. The home has also been explored as a place to conduct user studies, access virtual and mixed reality, and as a context for augmented reality. Other research uses augmented reality for improvements to the home design process and explores substitutional reality, the integration of physical and virtual environments, and virtual co-presence. Games also represent home spaces, and a player might have and be attached to a home in a game, like Stardew Valley or Skyrim, but these homes belong to the character and not the player. In this research, we explore the feasibility of hybrid physical-virtual homes created by extending physical homes into virtual space. Specifically, we ask, what are the key shared needs and challenges in designing hybrid virtual physical homes? How might these be addressed with specific design elements? And what new opportunities for design are revealed by user needs and playtests? We conducted 19 interviews to identify user needs around home. Interviews formed the creation of our design probes. Our 3 probes were playtested as they were developed. Throughout our 46 playtests, members of the research team recorded observations about participant behavior, emotional responses, and challenges encountered by participants. During the interview process, participants completed a written questionnaire, engaged in a face-to-face semi-structured interview, and made concept maps to illustrate important characteristics of home. Central themes emerging from the interviews included familiarity, community, and security. Participants cited familiarity as a source of comfort. Learning a space and its contents affords a sense of familiarity. One participant described a longtime home saying, "I was very comfortable with everything that was there. I kind of knew it inside and out and got to call it my own." Many participants talked about home as a shared physical space and described social interaction, important relationships, or co-presence as central to their experience of home. One said that home is wherever he and his wife live together. When participants were asked to describe their homes, most immediately said something along the lines of a place of comfort and safety. In concept maps, safe and its variants were closely associated with comfort, safety, privacy, and relaxation. In our design probes, we responded to the key themes from our interviews to explore how these needs and challenges might be addressed with specific design elements. Each of our 3 virtual rooms was created in Unity and built for the HTC Vive. The greenhouse incorporated leap motion technology, while the hearth used physical props. An iterative design process enabled us to discover what sense users made of their experiences in these rooms. The meditation room explores concepts of familiarity and security. It puts the user on a wooden deck overlooking an infinite ocean. A blue yoga mat sits on the floor with a wooden box for a user interface. The user can adjust the volume of music and sound effects like splashing water, and can adjust the apparent time of day from morning to sunset to night. One way we explored familiarity was by seeing whether elements of the physical world could carry over to the virtual space. Participants stood on the yoga mat, which was visible in both the physical and the virtual spaces, and put on their headset. The meditation room didn't load until the user was seated on the mat. We used spatial design to explore questions of security. For example, linen-like curtains were used to make the room feel small and private without feeling cramped or confining. The greenhouse explores concepts of community and familiarity and contains planters and a wooden table with gardening tools. Above the table hangs a row of mailboxes, which were the principal avenue for probing community. The experience is enhanced with ambient audio of nature sounds. The user's hands are visualized as a pair of gardening gloves. Users could tend plants, pick fruit, and put objects in the mailboxes. Each time someone visits the room, mailboxes might hold letters or gifts from fictional neighbors, and plants could be sent to neighbors in turn. Playtesters could customize their gardens. Between visits, plants that were tended appeared to grow. Plant growth shows the passage of time and gives the user a sense of control. The hearth explores concepts of security and community. Playtesters appear to be in an archetypal living room with bookshelves, a wooden floor, and a stone fireplace. A large window looks out onto pine trees and falling snow. Most design decisions in the hearth were based on locally recognizable ideas of coziness and trust. During playtests, we aligned pieces of furniture with their virtual counterparts so users could make themselves comfortable. Players could sit in the armchair, put their feet on the ottoman, and rest an arm on the table. The hearth was designed to appear as if it were a small part of a bigger, shared home. In a dining area behind the armchairs, a door to another room admits light that shines from an apparent space deeper in the house. Near the fireplace, an open door leads to a hallway with a visible bench that has boots under it. These spaces suggest that the user shares the house with others. The second armchair also supports this idea, implying that another person might arrive. We found that in virtual spaces, people get a sense of familiarity and comfort from continuity with the known. When the physical and virtual yoga mats were misaligned, participants went out of their way to align them. In the greenhouse, some playtesters invented routines around inspecting new growth on arrival or cleaning up before leaving. Our design probes explored community by suggesting the presence of others rather than by introducing others into the space. Participants were far more engaged with designs that suggested shared space rather than designs that focused on asynchronous communication. Playtesters evaluated their security through awareness of their virtual surroundings. In the meditation room, for example, playtesters described feeling safe once you understand what's behind you. When participants were less certain about their surroundings, they felt less secure. Some participants expressed anxiety about the half-open door in the hearth, worrying that someone else might walk in. Users recognized the potential of hybrid physical-virtual homes for their own lives and suggested use cases before even being asked. These are the three most common themes. First, VR home could be a place to engage with intangible mementos like digital photographs. Collections are vast, scattered, and disorganized and can't be easily displayed in people's physical homes. Second, playtesters often mentioned existing real-world relationships. Many suggested that the hearth would be a great place to talk with faraway loved ones. And finally, participants desired emotional attachment to a place. We saw this primarily in our inability to meet this need. One participant even said, "It just doesn't really feel like my space. It doesn't feel like someplace I live in, but it feels more like just if I'm over at somebody else's house." A lack of attachment makes sense given the limited time that playtesters spent in each room and offers new opportunities for design. Participants saw VR Home as a place where they could rest, build relationships, play, and know themselves better. We explore home-like virtual spaces in this study, but our findings suggest that the virtual components of hybrid homes don't have to imitate real spaces. For example, a virtual balcony could be a valuable addition to an urban apartment with limited window access. We can also imagine VR Home creating portals to your home through virtual reality. Future research could explore a wider range of metaphors for connecting physical and virtual spaces. This work demonstrates that extending physical homes into virtual spaces is feasible. Our design probes offered the opportunity to attach, feel secure, and build community. We illustrate several ways that hybrid homes might extend both the footprint and functionality of the home, and find that hybrid homes support pragmatic, effective, and cultural functions. These design principles can help us create spaces that address people's needs around home. More importantly, we can use these principles to allow users to create spaces that enhance their own experience of home, and to empower them to construct their identity, relationships, and roles using virtual technologies. To conclude, we'd like to thank OTHink for funding this work. Thank you for your time.